Highway 299. Northern California's. There are highways built to connect cities, and then there are highways built to cut through nothing. Highway 299 stretches across Northern California, from the dense forests of Trinity County, through deep canyons, along rivers that have swallowed cars whole, and into mountains where phones lose signal and time feels unstable. By day, it is beautiful. By night, it is unforgiving. People don't disappear on Highway 299 because it is haunted. They disappear because no one is watching. And something out there has learned that. Highway 299 was carved through dangerous land. Steep cliffs, sharp turns, miles of forest with no lights, no homes, and no cell service. Emergency responders know the road well. They also know how long it takes to reach an accident. Sometimes too long. Locals say if your car breaks down after midnight, you don't honk, you don't flash your lights, and you do not accept help from anyone who stops, because Highway 299 attracts the wrong kind of attention. The forests surrounding Highway 299 are thick and ancient. Tall pines, fallen logs, ground so soft it absorbs sound. At night, the forest goes quiet. No birds, no insects, just wind moving through trees like breathing. Search teams say sound behaves strangely here. Voices don't carry, shouts don't echo, and sometimes you hear footsteps that don't belong to you. Highway 299 follows the Trinity River for miles. The river looks calm, wide, slow, but locals know it kills quietly. Cars have been pulled from it decades later, bodies found miles downstream. Some victims were never reported missing, and some were. But what haunts investigators most are the people who vanished without any sign of an accident. No car, no body, no trail, just the last known location, Highway 299. In September 2019, a man in his early 30s was driving alone along Highway 299. He was returning from a job site, experienced, familiar with the road, dash cam on, phone charging, GPS active. At 11:18 p.m., his car passed a mile marker near a forested stretch locals avoid at night. At 11:26 p.m., he slowed down, not because of traffic, but because someone was standing on the shoulder of the road. The dash cam footage shows a human shape, tall, still, no reflective gear, no flashlight, just standing there, facing the trees. The driver did not stop, but as he passed, the figure turned its head, too smoothly, too late. The driver whispered one sentence. "Why are they barefoot?" Moments later, the radio cut to static. GPS froze. The dashcam audio picked up breathing. Not the driver's. Something else. Low. Close. The car did not slow, but the headlights flickered, and the forest seemed to lean inward. At 11:31 p.m., the engine stalled. No warning lights, no sputter, just dead silence. The car rolled to a stop. The dash cam recorded the driver gripping the steering wheel, not speaking. Then, a sound, a soft knock, from the driver's side window. The camera never clearly captured the face, because there wasn't one, just a pale oval shape, too smooth, too close. The driver did not scream. He whispered, "You're not supposed to be this far from the river." The knock happened again, slower. He did not open the door. Locals speak quietly about things seen near Highway 299. Figures watching from the tree line. People who don't respond when spoken to. Voices calling names they shouldn't know. Native legends describe spirits tied to land and water. Not evil, but territorial. They do not chase. They wait. And Highway 299 runs directly through where it should not. At 11:34 p.m., the dashcam shook slightly, as if weight was placed on the hood. The driver's breathing became rapid, then stopped. The final image on the dashcam was the forest, moving, not swaying, moving closer. The car was found 2 days later, parked cleanly on the shoulder, doors closed, windows intact, keys still inside. No damage, no blood, no footprints leading away. The river was searched. Nothing. The forest was searched. Nothing. The man was never found. Authorities avoid patterns, but locals see them clearly. Most disappearances happen after midnight, near water. When drivers stop, some vehicles are found, some aren't. Some dashcams record something, most cut out. A small number of people leave Highway 299 with stories they refuse to tell publicly. They describe being watched, losing time, smelling river water days later, footsteps outside homes at night. One woman claimed she woke up with pine needles in her bed. Another said their car radio still picks up static whispers. Locals follow rules that aren't on maps. Never stop for strangers. Never pull over near water at night. Never follow voices from the trees. And if your engine dies, stay inside. Whatever is out there counts on curiosity. Highway 299 is still open. People still drive it. Cars still break down. People still vanish. And sometimes, drivers report seeing someone standing barefoot on the shoulder, facing the forest, waiting. Because Highway 299 doesn't chase. It lets you come to it. Clinton Road, New Jersey. There are roads you drive on, and then there are roads that watch you drive. Clinton Road is only 10 miles long. 10 miles of narrow asphalt cutting through the forests of West Milford, New Jersey. No streetlights, no homes, no witnesses. By day, it looks ordinary. By night, it feels like something ancient wakes up. Locals don't drive it after sunset. Police respond reluctantly. And those who stop on Clinton Road often regret it for the rest of their lives. Because this road does not want attention, it wants company. Clinton Road was built in the early 1900s, slicing directly through untouched forest land. The land was never cleared properly. Trees were cut unevenly. The road curves unnaturally, as if it was forced into the ground. Construction workers reported accidents, broken equipment, sudden illness. One worker vanished during construction. There was no investigation. The road opened anyway, and almost immediately. Stories began. Halfway down Clinton Road sits an old metal bridge. No signs, no markings, just rusted railings and black water below. For decades, drivers have reported seeing a young boy standing silently on the bridge late at night. He never speaks. He never waves. He never reacts. Legend says the boy drowned there many years ago. If you throw a coin into the water, the boy throws it back. Most people laugh until it happens. Police reports describe coins striking car doors, windshields, sometimes landing on back seats. There are no fingerprints on the coins, only moisture, and a smell like river water. The forest surrounding Clinton Road is wrong. There are no birds at night, no insects, no animal sounds. Search teams say the silence feels pressurized, as if sound itself is being crushed. Several hikers who wandered off the road were found days later, standing upright, completely still. They were alive, but they could not speak. Doctors found no injuries, just extreme dehydration and pupils locked in fear. None of them ever returned to Clinton Road. In 2017, 3 independent filmmakers decided to document Clinton Road. They were calm, skeptical, prepared, dash cam on, audio recording active, timestamps verified. At 11:42 p.m., they entered Clinton Road. The forest swallowed their headlights. Within minutes, radio static replaced music. At 12:03 a.m., the driver said one sentence. "Why does it feel like we're driving in circles?" GPS showed a straight line. At 12:07 a.m., the car engine stalled. No warning, no noise, just silence. The forest seemed closer now. One of them laughed nervously. That's when the knocking started. Not on the door, on the roof. Slow, heavy, deliberate. There was nothing above the car, but the metal bent inward slightly with each knock. Multiple witnesses over decades described the same figure. A tall man, wearing black, standing just outside the range of headlights. No face, no features, just smooth darkness where a face should be. Truck drivers report slamming brakes to avoid him. When they stop, there is nothing there. Except sometimes, a handprint on the hood, too long to be human. Clinton Road carries a darker history. In the early 1900s, the Ku Klux Klan used the surrounding forest for gatherings. Cross burnings, disappearances, unmarked graves still rumored to exist beneath the trees. Some believe the hatred soaked into the land. Others believe something ancient was already waiting, and it fed on it. Late at night, witnesses report chanting, low, rhythmic, coming from deep within the forest. The filmmaker's dashcam continued recording even after audio distortion took over. At 12:11 a.m., headlights flickered. Shadows moved where there were no objects. At 12:14 a.m., one of them whispered, "There's a kid on the bridge." The camera never caught the boy, but something else appeared. A reflection. Standing behind the car. At 12:17 a.m., the recording cut abruptly. The next morning, police found the vehicle parked neatly on the roadside. Doors unlocked, keys still inside. No signs of struggle, no footprints leading away. Inside the car, everything was normal. Except the backseat, wet, smelling of river water. Months later, audio technicians enhanced the recording, beneath static and breathing. There were voices, children laughing. Close, too close. And one final whisper. "You stopped." Not everyone who encounters Clinton Road disappears. Some leave, but they are changed. They report nightmares, shadows in mirrors, wet footprints in locked homes. One man woke up with mud under his fingernails. Another smelled forest rot for weeks. Doctors found nothing wrong. Clinton Road doesn't follow everyone, only the ones who noticed it. Locals have one rule: never stop your car, never get out, never acknowledge what you see. Because Clinton Road reacts to attention. The moment you stop, the road knows you noticed, and once it knows, it doesn't let go easily. Clinton Road still exists, people still drive it, coins still come back, engines still stall, and sometimes drivers report a boy standing on the bridge, waiting, not for coins, for someone to stop. Because Clinton Road doesn't need everyone, just a few, to keep it alive. Ortega Highway, Route 74. There are highways designed to move people safely, and then there are highways designed simply to exist, no matter who survives them. Ortega Highway, also known as California. Route 74 cuts through the Santa Ana Mountains, connecting the inland valleys to the Pacific coast. By day, it is scenic. By night, it is unforgiving. Sharp curves, steep drop-offs, fog that erases the road without warning. But the danger of Ortega Highway is not limited to accidents, because this road has a habit of keeping people longer than they planned. Ortega Highway has one of the highest accident rates in Southern California. Motorcyclists die here every year. Drivers vanish into ravines. Cars are pulled from cliffs long after anyone remembers the crash. Locals don't romanticize it. They warn newcomers. Don't drive it at night. Don't trust the fog. And if something goes wrong, don't get out of your car, because help is far away. And sometimes, something else arrives first. The fog on Ortega Highway behaves strangely. It doesn't roll in naturally. It gathers. Drivers report sudden walls of white appearing in clear conditions. Visibility drops to nothing in seconds. Sound becomes distorted. Engines feel muffled. Distance loses meaning. Some swear the fog moves against the wind, and sometimes it parts, just enough to show something standing ahead. Long before Route 74 was paved, the land belonged to native tribes. The mountains were not considered evil, they were considered watchful. Early settlers ignored warnings. The road was forced through steep terrain never meant for constant travel. Construction accidents were frequent. Deaths were quietly buried in reports. The road opened anyway, and from the beginning, people felt watched. In February 2021, a man in his late 20s drove Ortega Highway alone after midnight. He had taken the road many times before. He knew the curves. He respected the fog. Dash cam on, phone connected, fuel tank full. At 12:14 a.m., he entered the mountain stretch. By 12:22 a.m., fog surrounded the vehicle completely. The dash cam recorded him slowing down. He muttered quietly, "This wasn't here 5 minutes ago." Inside the fog, sound changed. The engine became dull. The tires felt distant. Radio stations faded into static. The dashcam audio picked up something else, a faint noise, like breathing, not inside the car, outside it. At 12:26 a.m., the car stalled. No warning lights, no mechanical noise, just silence. The man stayed still, hands on the wheel, fog pressed against the windows like fabric. Then, footsteps, slow, measured, circling the car. The dashcam caught movement beyond the headlights. A human shape, tall, thin, too still. The fog parted briefly, enough to show a figure standing at the edge of the road, facing the car. No reflective clothing, no light, just a dark outline, and a face that didn't reflect anything at all. The knock came from the rear passenger door. Soft, polite. The man whispered, "No, no, no." The knock came again, slower, closer to the glass. A shape leaned forward. Too close. The dashcam never captured facial features, just emptiness where eyes should be. Residents near Ortega Highway share stories quietly. Figures seen during foggy nights. People asking for help who vanish when approached. Voices calling names from the trees. Some believe it's psychological. Others believe the mountain doesn't like strangers who stop moving, because motion is safety. Stillness is invitation. At 12:31 a.m., the dashcam timestamp jumped forward. 6 minutes missing. No recording error. No power loss. When video resumed, the fog was thinner. The figure was gone. The car engine restarted on its own. The man was breathing heavily. He whispered, "I didn't open the door." The man reached home safely. He did not sleep. For days he smelled wet asphalt and cold fog. His dashcam footage was reviewed later, frame by frame. During the missing 6 minutes, the camera recorded something. A shadow passed directly in front of the lens. Slow, deliberate, too tall to be human. Authorities don't link cases, but locals notice patterns. Cars found intact, drivers missing. Fog present every time. Some bodies are found in ravines, some aren't found at all. Search teams report feeling watched, and sometimes hearing footsteps behind them. People who survive Ortega Highway follow rules they never talk about online. Never stop in the fog, never open your door for anyone, never follow voices, never assume you're alone. And if your car stalls, stay inside, no matter what you hear. Some who drive Ortega Highway report changes afterward. Fog appearing where it shouldn't, shadows in mirrors, footsteps outside locked homes. One woman reported condensation handprints on her bathroom mirror. Another woke up with gravel in her shoes. No explanation. Ortega Highway is still open. People still drive it. Fog still gathers without warning. Cars still stall. And sometimes, drivers report seeing someone standing quietly at the roadside, not asking for help, just waiting. Because Ortega Highway doesn't chase. It waits for you to stop. Route 66, California. There are roads that move forward, and there are roads that refuse to let go of the past. Route 66 once carried millions of people west, dreamers, families, soldiers, and the desperate. But when newer highways replaced it, Route 66 did not disappear. It stayed, empty, broken, watching. And California's desert stretches, where the road no longer leads anywhere, something else began to travel it. Route 66 enters California through harsh desert land. Barstow, Ludlow, Amboy, places that look abandoned, but never truly are. Gas stations still stand with pumps that no longer work. Motels rot under the sun. Neon signs flicker even when the power is cut. Locals say the road remembers every car that broke down, every person who never made it home. And the desert never gives anything back easily. The California desert is not silent. It hums. Wind slides through broken buildings. Sand taps against rusted metal. Heat distorts sound and distance. At night, the desert becomes vast. No lights, no help, no sense of direction. Drivers report hearing footsteps near their cars, even when they are completely alone. The desert listens, and Route 66 carries the sound. Dozens of motels once lined Route 66. Most are empty now, but not all. Travelers report lights turning on inside locked rooms, showers running with no water supply, footsteps on second floors that no longer exist. Some swear they hear radios playing music from the 1940s. Songs no modern station broadcasts. Those who stay the night often leave before morning. Those who don't are rarely spoken about. In August 2020, a man in his mid-30s decided to drive the California stretch of Route 66 alone. He was documenting abandoned highways, experienced, prepared, dash cam running, audio recording active, extra fuel in the trunk. At 11:53 p.m., he passed through Amboy. The road ahead was empty, too empty. Within minutes, something felt wrong. The road stretched unnaturally. Landmarks repeated. The same broken sign, the same telephone pole. The dashcam captured the man saying, "Didn't I pass this already?" GPS showed forward movement, but the road looked unchanged. At 12:07 a.m., headlights appeared ahead. An old car, parked sideways on the road, no hazard lights, no movement. The man slowed. As he passed, the dashcam briefly reflected something inside the car. Not a face, just a dark shape, sitting upright, staring forward. The car vanished in the rearview mirror. At 12:11 a.m., the engine cut out. No warning, no sputter. Silence. The desert pressed in. The man stayed inside the car. He whispered, "Please don't make me get out." Then came the sound of footsteps. Slow, dragging, circling the vehicle. The headlights flickered back on briefly. A figure stood ahead on the road. Tall, still, wearing outdated clothing. No visible face, just shadow where features should be. The figure did not approach. It waited. Locals speak of missing time on Route 66. Hours vanish, minutes stretch. The dashcam timestamp jumped forward by 9 minutes. No recording error. During the missing time, the camera recorded only darkness and breathing, not the man's. At 12:23 a.m., the engine restarted. The man drove forward. A town appeared ahead, lights on, buildings intact, a place that does not exist on any map. Signs read, "Welcome, traveler." The man did not stop. As he passed, the dashcam caught faces in windows, motionless, watching. Route 66 saw thousands die. Heat exposure, breakdowns, accidents never recorded properly. Some were buried in the desert. Some were never found. Locals believe the road absorbed them. Not ghosts, memories, replaying, waiting for someone to notice. The man's car was found 2 days later, parked neatly on the shoulder. Fuel still in the tank, keys in the ignition, dashcam intact. The man was never found. The last frame recorded showed the desert road ahead, full of headlights, dozens of them, approaching. Authorities don't connect cases, but the stories match. Cars found intact, drivers missing, dash cams recording movement where nothing should be. Some survivors report voices asking, "Are you heading west?" Those who know Route 66 follow rules. Never drive it alone at night. Never stop for abandoned vehicles. Never trust towns that aren't on maps. And never follow headlights that appear from nowhere. Because Route 66 doesn't want travelers anymore. It wants witnesses. Some who drive Route 66 report changes afterward. Desert sand in locked homes. Radio stations playing static voices. Dreams of driving without arriving. One man claimed he woke up with sunburn in winter. Route 66 is no longer a main road, but it is not empty. It still waits for broken cars, for tired drivers, for people who believe the road is dead. Because Route 66 doesn't end, it loops. And once it notices you, it remembers you. US Route 491. Some highways are loud. Traffic, lights, movement. US Route 491 is not one of them. It stretches through New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah, cutting across open desert, tribal land, and long distances where nothing interrupts the horizon. There are no cities to hide in, no crowds to disappear into. And when something happens on Route 491, there is usually no one there to see it. That is what makes this road dangerous. And that is why it remembers. Route 491 passes through land that appears endless. Flat terrain, dry wind, miles without buildings, lights, or cell signal. Drivers often underestimate it. They think danger comes from speed or weather, but the real threat is distance. When a vehicle stops here, help can be hours away, and sometimes it never comes. Much of Route 491 runs through Navajo Nation territory. To the people who live there, the land is not empty. It is aware. movement through it is meant to be respectful, deliberate, and brief. Elders warned for decades that constant traffic through certain areas would cause imbalance. Those warnings were ignored. The road was paved and accidents followed, not all of them explainable. By day, Route 491 is harsh but manageable. By night, it becomes something else. Darkness here is complete. Headlights feel weak. The sky feels closer. Truck drivers report the same sensation. The feeling of being noticed, not followed, not chased, simply observed. In March 2018, a man in his mid-30s was driving alone on US Route 491. He worked maintenance contracts between small towns. He knew long roads. He was careful. Dashcam running, radio low, no alcohol, no distractions. At 11:46 p.m., he entered a particularly isolated stretch near the Colorado-New Mexico border. The road ahead was straight, too straight. At 11:54 p.m., the radio crackled, static at first. Then a voice, clear, calm. "You should keep moving." The man frowned and adjusted the dial. No station identification, no signal strength. The radio went silent. He laughed once, nervous, and kept driving. At 12:01 a.m., the headlights caught something on the shoulder of the road. A shape, standing still, not hitchhiking, not waving, just standing, facing the road. The man slowed instinctively. As he passed, the dashcam recorded the shape turning its head. There was no visible face, just darkness where one should be. 3 minutes later, the engine shut off. No warning lights, no sound, silence. The car rolled to a stop on flat ground. The desert went quiet, too quiet. The man stayed inside, hands on the steering wheel. Then came the sound. Footsteps, slow, crunching gravel, approaching from behind the vehicle. The footsteps stopped at the driver's side door. The dashcam captured a shadow blocking the moonlight. The window fogged slightly, as if something leaned close. The man whispered, "I'm not getting out." There was no knock, no voice, just presence. At 12:07 a.m., the dashcam timestamp jumped forward. 8 minutes missing, no loss of power, no camera error. When recording resumed, the engine was running again. The road ahead was empty. The man was breathing hard. He did not speak. Residents near Route 491 speak carefully. They mention voices heard through radios, figures seen at night that don't move like people. Vehicles found abandoned with no explanation. They don't call it haunting. They call it consequence. 2 days later, the man's vehicle was found, parked neatly on the shoulder, doors closed, keys inside, no damage, no footprints leading away, no sign of the driver. The dash cam was intact. The last frame showed the road ahead, with a shadow standing just beyond the headlights. Authorities don't officially link cases, but locals notice patterns. Disappearances occur. At night, during clear weather, when vehicles stop, some drivers return, some don't. Those who return don't talk much. People who drive Route 491 regularly follow rules they never explain. Never stop for figures on the road. Never respond to voices over the radio. Never leave your vehicle at night. Never assume the road is empty, because emptiness invites attention. Some who leave Route 491 report strange after effects. Static on radios at home. Dreams of endless straight roads. The sensation of being watched while driving elsewhere. One man claimed his GPS repeatedly tried to reroute him back. Even years later, US Route 491 still exists. Cars still pass through it. The land still waits. Nothing chases you on this road. Nothing jumps out. It simply notices when you stop. And once it does, it remembers.